Alright, I'm gonna do. I guess I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna be talking about Skyrim. My. How should I say this? Skyrim's development needs to be something to be studied, in my opinion. I'm not being, like, sarcastic or anything, but Skyrim is a huge game, and the fact that I don't know, a, a talented group of like maybe 100 worked on this thing. Like, I'm being serious here. Skyrim's development is something to be studied. The fact it took, I don't know, a couple years to come out with this game, and overall, it's so big, it's so diverse. However, that's where I want to say it's it's not necessarily a weakness per se. It's it's just not a good point, not a strong suit, not a strong point. But what I'm trying to say is where the game falls flat and its weakest point is its voice acting. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not good at this, especially off script, but where this game definitely does not shy and does not shy away from is its lack of multiple voice actors. Let's just say that. Basically, you have probably, I was told there was 10, but I'm wanting to say 5 people all voice 500 characters within this game. And I'm just like, y'all seriously could not have at least 10? I or 10 or 15 would have been okay. But yeah, I love this game. I'm not gonna lie to you. It, unfortunately, like many, Skyrim is what introduced me to Elder Scrolls. I know a lot of people they love the combat from Fallout. And don't get me wrong, I think Fallout's cool. I like the aesthetic. I like everything about Fallout. You know what I dislike? Uh, is that I can't get into Fallout. That's what I honestly dislike. I like the aesthetic. I like everything about Fallout. The problem? I can't get into Fallout, no matter how many times I've tried. I don't know why, either. Well, I do know why. Fallout's not like, Skyrim, in a way. What I mean by that is, this feels like, not necessarily an isekai, but it feels like a fantasy RPG and you're the main character. I think that's why I like this game so much. It's in an alternate world. Anything goes, you know. Well, not anything, but you can kind of be your own person, more or less. Right now, I am a mage build. I don't... I hate to say it, I am basic bitch like that. Don't judge me. I like the mage. To me, the mage is pretty powerful. Oh, there's a lot of people down there. 1 second, guys. Okay then. not me experiencing paranormal activity. My microwave just went off all by itself. Not even a thing wrong with it. It's nice to know I'm being haunted. Okay, so I'm finding more vampires. That's great. Sorry guys, I got distracted by this game easily. But no, I'm being serious when I say this. Skyrim's, development is... You would think this would have taken at least a decade to make. Or, most gaming companies... honestly, it would have taken at least a decade to make this game. For most. And yet, here we are. Yet, here we are. Skyrim. One of the most infamous games ever. But yeah, one of the biggest reasons I like this game, per se, is the fact that I like fantasy style worlds. If it resembles an RPG or well, kind of like an isekai, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say anyway. But isekais and fantasy RPG type anime are kind of like my bread and butter. Those are what make me happy. So to play games like that honestly bring me joy. Ooh. Warning of decapitation then, I guess. Forgot I still had that. Also, yes, I'm aware she had a dwarven bow and arrow. Bow and dagger, I mean. And the biggest reason I didn't pick it up is because I have already one and a enchanted one. Well, no, I have one and one that's named. So, I'm not gonna pick up a third. Same goes for the dagger. I have, multiple of those, all with different enchantments. I ain't about to... you know, pick up another. Boy, I would have loved to have seen that. I will say I don't know a whole lot. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. My knowledge of Skyrim is very limited. Like, yeah, I know a lot of the basic stuff, but a lot of the DLC and stuff I don't know much about. Vampire book. I have yet to finish the Dawn Guard stuff, or any of that stuff, really. I'm still despite this game's age, I'm still learning about Skyrim. If you could believe that. I came in here, did that. Okay. I have everything in this room. Cool. Yep. Make sure I got everything before I go. I'm leaving no stone unturned. Ultimate stamina. Here's my question. I hate to backtrack. Also, I realize I'm supposed to be talking throughout the video, and here I am just gameplay. I'm sorry for that, guys. I don't mean to constantly get distracted by the very thing, but, yeah, Fortnite is a case that needs to be studied a little bit. The fact that a team of maybe 50 worked on this game made honestly, one of the best-selling RPGs in the world astounds me. Like, the fact that maybe 50 people made this game a long time ago, and it went to be one of the most successful RPGs in the century is honestly astounding. And this game came out, what, 2011, 2010? Somewhere around there? I'm not saying that this is an old game, but I am saying this game came out on the PS3. Let that sink in. Now, I will say this. There are people that still play PS3 on this year of our Lord 2026. I would be one of them. However, I'm not. For me, there's literally no reason to own a PS3. For every game I have on the PS3 besides one is on the PS5. I take back my plus. Besides one, there's actually a handful that I would love to see on the PS5 or PS4. However, I think because of well, two of the games I want on the PS5, they aren't held in high regards with their fan bases. One of them was cited as the worst video game ever in Guinness World Records. And if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. Especially with it being 2006. Yeah. 2006, it was held as one of the worst video games in history. Which, that's a load of poppycock in my opinion, because, that, as I'm always saying, that title is reserved for Superman 64. Wanna know why I say this? Because I grew up with the Nintendo 64. One of the first few games I got was not only Mario 64, but Superman 64. Around that time, though, there was a Superman cartoon that was very popular, and How am I getting in here? Very popular. Anyway, one of the things about the one of the things that I liked about Superman at the time when I was growing up was there was a show called Smallville. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Smallville was a fever dream. How am I getting in this? It requires a key. Cool. Is there really no way in there? That's odd. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie to you. Smallville was one of the best superhero shows, in my opinion. And the worst part about it, I like it over CW's The Flash. But Smallville got me into liking Superman. Although, be it, I thought Smallville wasn't Superman when I was a kid, but that's neither here nor there. I will say I am guilty of this. I never watched the movies that came after Smallville. I don't know why, but I never got around to them. Never seen them. I told I wasn't missing anything, but still. I never watched the Superman movies of Smallville. I feel bad about it, but then again, after Smallville ended, when I found out, I was kind of not into Superman like I thought I was. Especially after watching the cartoon show. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Superman. To me, he's one of the most kind of misunderstood characters, I will say. I say kind of with a grain of salt. He is understood, but a lot of people see him as super OP, but he can still be hurt. And not by a green rock. The fact that everyone makes that abundantly clear that literally anyone can hurt Superman with a green rock. One of the biggest jokes ever is how Lex Luthor has an unlimited supply of kryptonite, which, in my opinion, is dumb AF. But yeah, in order to have the Superman, in order to keep that Goku versus Vegeta mentality with the Superman and Lex Luthor, they gotta give him kryptonite, unlimited amount of kryptonite, which I think is dumb because kryptonite's supposed to be one of the rarest jewels in all of history. And the fact that no one even cashes in on kryptonite is, I think, the dumbest thing ever. In my opinion. I'm gonna save that dungeon for later when I'm streaming. But no, one of the biggest things I have to complain about is how most Superman stories are Superman fights Lex Luthor, he's got kryptonite, and Superman wins. That's basically it. Now the cartoon did more than just that. They actually added villains who actually hurt Superman. Thank God. But yeah, that's kind of the reason I don't like most Superman stories. Is because most of them are, kind of bland. Superman, he finds out Lex Luthor is up to something. Usually is, knowing him. Being corrupt and everything. Anyway, Superman fights Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor pulls out a kryptonite out of his butt. And basically, he starts hurting Superman because, of course, why not? I somehow walked back to the quest I was doing. How does that happen? I don't know. But, Superman, and it Superman beats Lex Luthor, foils his plans, and rinse and repeat, basically. And I'm just like, one, you can only do that so many times before someone gets bored. Whether it be Superman, the reader, the viewer themselves, or heck, even the creator. And that's kind of how I feel about, let's just say, Family Guy, for instance. One of the longest running adult cartoons ever to have existed. I say one of, not the longest, the longest running adult cartoon films ever to exist is The Simpsons, which, let's be honest, everyone knows that. I will say, though, I hate what gave The Simpsons their notoriety. Yeah, don't get me wrong, The Simpsons is a great show. It's one of the most beloved adult cartoons in history, and it's not really entirely adult cartoons, but you get what I mean, though. It's one of the longest running cartoons that more so family oriented now, but you get what I mean, though. For it to be like that is, boy, I'm glad I'm getting this on recording, because that's precarious. But y'all get what I mean. It's one of the longest running family oriented shows in history. And, well, it's quote unquote prophecies. It's foretelling, I should say, or lucky guesses, whatever you want to call it, is what got it so much notoriety in 2020 because of COVID, the pandemic, all hell on earth, basically. No, I'm kidding you not. 2020 is all hell on earth. But y'all get what I mean, though. Honestly, I'm gonna call it good on this video and catch y'all in the next one.